Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard 101 video. Today, as you could tell by the title, I'm ranking all of the schools in order of how good they are to solo, and just how good they are. This is also influenced by how good they are to play, how fun they are from my perspective. So it's a mix of that and how good they are to solo, but mostly based on how good they are to solo, if that makes sense. So yeah, we've pulled up a tier list here. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I've done Wizard101 schools ranked in the past, but I didn't order that by how to solo, and I didn't do that by a tier list. I felt like a tier list would make it easier to just kind of look at and see. I also just realized that my camera is in the way of the tier list, so I'm just gonna put it up here, top right of the screen, make it like that big. Perfect. All is well. I also have Wizard101, the old music playing in the background. The old music is so much better than the new music. But here we go. I'm ordering it by, again, how good they are to solo. So before I go into this, I'd like you guys to know I have a wizard from every single school. So I can form an opinion on schools, certain schools, all the schools, because I've done all of the schools. Balance, I've done the Let's Play series on, if you guys have watched that. I have a level 107 balance, or he's 108 now, I think. Let me tell you, balance is a very fine C tier to solo. I might even put them in D tier. Now, balance has things like good health, good resist, good accuracy, but they have the major downfall effect is that if they go up against a balanced enemy, they're absolutely fucked, because Spiritual Tribunal didn't exist back then, and either way, to get Spiritual Tribunal, you need to pay crowns. So basically, until Chimera, if you go against a balanced enemy, you're kind of fucked. Okay, that's not true. You have Spectral Blast, but there is a length of time, and that length of time is from around Dragonspire to Avalon, where you don't have Chimera, but every boss has too much health to kill with Spectral Blast, which just makes it just not very fun. So overall, I would rate balance a heavy C tier. If there was more than 5 slots, I would probably put them in D tier, but I don't consider them the worst. They're just bad. Next is Fire, which I would put Fire in a solid, they're in between A and B tier for me. Fire was my first wizard. I have a level 130 Fire and a level 80 Fire. Ooh, that's a hard decision. I guess I'll put them in A tier. But let it be known they're in low A tier, high B tier, somewhere in there, right? Fire's good because while they do have low health and accuracy, they have the second highest damage of the game. They oh, that battle music was a swift turn. Second highest damage in the game. They have damage over time, which is useful. They get their blades early. They have a decent blade. Overall, they're just good. They have a decent amount of damage, which that's probably why I'd put them at A tier. They're not hard to solo with, but they're not the easiest either. I actually might put them at B tier because I feel like it's a Fire I would hate soloing, just in general. I'll leave them at A tier. I don't know. Ice is next. Now, I'm sure you can expect where I'm putting this. If you've played Ice, you know Ice is shit to solo with. You don't get a blade until level 38. You might have a lot of health and resist, but you don't have damage, which means it's going to be incredibly difficult to kill most bosses, which is why I'm putting them in D tier. Excuse me. They're probably going to be one of the worst. I don't know, they're just not as good as the others by an extreme degree. Life is very difficult for me because while I'm tempted to put it in D tier with Ice, it could also go in C tier with Balance, I feel like, because Life has heals, which makes them a lot better, and they can use power pips for heals. So, you know, that makes them decently effective where they can't die as much. Realistically, they could go also B tier. They could really go in any of these depending on what you feel like. Like, right, they could go B tier because they have heals, they won't die as much, they have good resist, good power pip and everything, but they have low damage. It'll be hard for them to kill things, you know. So realistically, I'll put them in C tier, like in between those two, because I feel like it's kind of, that's what they average as, which isn't very bad. I would put Myth in a B tier. Now, the reason for this is Myth was recently buffed, so they have Orthrus, which is an attack all. Myth has decent health, decent resist, decent damage. They're just an all-around, like, they're almost just as balanced as Balance is, except without the debuff that Balance has where they don't have a convert. Realistically, I would put Balance, if it had a convert, which it does technically have a convert now, but that's only at very high levels. I would put Myth and Balance on the same tier of B tier, but I definitely feel like I can't, with how I know firsthand how awful it is to solo a Balance. So I'll put Balance in C. Myth, I feel like, deserves going B. If people have shit on Myth for the longest time, if you go to the subreddit, whatever, you know, people are like, haha, Myth bad, funny. Myth is not that bad. It never has been, and now, especially with like Orthrus and stuff, it's even better. They have Grendel's Amends, which counts as a healing spell, so that's cool, gives them more versatility. Overall, I would consider them very solid B tier, even A tier, which is hard because I would put them on the same level as Fire. Fire's bothering me so much because I don't know where to put them. You know what? I'm gonna move Myth up to A tier because I feel like Myth is on level with Fire. Fire's they're about equal in regards to difficulty, I would say. Storm is next, and if you've played a Storm while soloing, you know it can be a bitch. I'm gonna put them in a solid B tier. Now, the reason for this is, before all you get mad at me for putting Storm in B tier, I would consider Storm to be decent, as in they have a shit ton of damage. They will kill anything, but their low health and resist makes it so that you can and will die more frequently than others. And like, for example, on my Balance, I don't think I died in a battle once until Dragonspire, right? But on a few Storms I've soloed, I've died many times, specifically in earlier worlds such as Crocotopia and Marleybone, because it's just more difficult. I would consider it can be good, but it also can be bad. Like, mob fights will be a breeze, but you're gonna have some problems. Tempest is obviously God tier. Now, if this was like a duo list or like, you know, something like that, these rankings would be completely different, trust me. Like, Balance would shoot up. You know, Storm would probably be an S tier as well. Realistically, none of them are that bad when they're doing, but overall, it's not... I wouldn't consider Storm to be S tier or even A tier. I would much rather solo a Fire or Myth than a Storm. Next, and you could probably have seen this coming, as Death. Death is by far the easiest thing to solo with. The health back on damage thing makes it just too powerful, especially now that enchants have the full effect on that. They didn't used to. They used to have a half effect. So now Scarecrow is God tiered up with Orthrus and Stormlord, Fire Dragon, Forest Lord, all of the tier 7 spells, Power Nova, Frost Giant. Just didn't want to not name any of them. yeah, it's just really good, especially now that Ship of Fools exists. Obviously, Ship of Fools you need to pay for, but Ship of Fools is a god tier spell. Like, it is, if in regards to death spells, that is an S plus tier spell. Like, if you've seen it, it is ridiculous. Hitting all 4 enemies and getting heals back is just so good that it's actually just nutty broken. Like, first round I can do 2 to 3k damage, and that means first round against 4 enemies I'm getting 4k health back, which means first round I'm back up to, like, you know, a decent amount of health, and that's if I start a battle with low health. Like, it's actually insane how good the spell is, and if you upgrade it with its bottom path, it easily becomes the most damaging 4-tier spell out of all of them. It's better than Meteor Strike. It's even better than a 4-pip Tempest, I believe. Actually, is it? Yeah, I think it's even better than a 4-pip Tempest, which is crazy. It might be more on par with a 4-pip Tempest, but either way, all you need to do is play Death to know that it's broken. Or even soloing is good, duoing it's even better. Honestly, if I could go back to my early video I made where I ranked all the schools, I would probably change it up. Now that Sea of Fools existing definitely changes things. Also the fact that generally my opinions have shifted. Now Death and Myth have definitely grown on me a lot more, and Storm has grown on me a lot less. I feel like it's not as fun for me as it used to be. And also, in regards to soloing, this is what I would probably consider the fun ranking too. You're going to have the most fun with Death and probably the least fun with Ice. Ice is going to be a slog. It's going to be a torture. If you're an Ice Wizard, I'm sorry. Trust me, I know your pain. I am a level 1. I have a 130 Ice, and I know what it's like to play Ice. It's not that fun. Duoing, it's a lot better to play Ice. I wouldn't consider it really good, but it's better than soloing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you agreed with it, let me know. If you disagreed with it, also let me know. Tell me your rankings. Obviously, this is not best school tier list, because if it was, a few of these would be shifted around. This isn't what I would consider the best schools to be, but it is definitely close to this, you know, in regards to what I like. So that's it. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, hit the sub button, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.